Pigs might fly. She paid through her nose. He's playing it by his ear. Oh, sounds like gobbledygook to me. So it is true that idioms in English can certainly be strange and confusing, but boy, do we use them a lot, so they are super useful. That's why today we're learning 50 of the best of British idioms, including the confusing and bizarre ones. Learning idioms will aid your understanding of natural English, but it will also make you sound more natural if you start using them. Because they are a very natural part of British conversation, they also say something about the character of the language. They're very expressive. And us native speakers, we just love to hear you using idioms. So come with me, let me take you on a journey through the strange and wonderful world of British idioms. As always guys, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and hit the notification bell so you don't miss one of our lessons. Right, they say money talks, so let's start with money. Number 1 is a penny for your thoughts. A penny for your thoughts? And basically we say this when a person is looking thoughtful and we'd like to know what they're thinking. Now remember, idioms are not literal, so it doesn't mean I'm going to give them a penny for their thoughts, but it does mean that I almost would offer a penny in return for them sharing how they're feeling. Penny for your thoughts, Leila?
Oh, nothing.
Number 2, what a great phrase, to look like $1 million, or in American English, to look like $1 million. Now, to look like $1 million is really quite easy to understand because it means you look fantastic. You look like you've dressed up fancy, like you're a rich person. So if we say, oh my goodness, you look like $1 million, you look amazing, we're saying, you look fantastic. Leila, I have to say, in that dress, you look like $1 million. Number 3, to be born with a silver spoon in one's mouth. To be born with a silver spoon in his, her, your mouth. Now basically, this means that we are born into privilege, a silver spoon. So a silver spoon meant that your parents were probably wealthy, you were born into riches. Now if we say this about a person, it's not necessarily positive. We often mean like, oh, he or she did not work for what they have, they were just born into it. Right, now we're moving to idioms which are related to the body, because there are a lot of these in English. Number 4 is to cost an arm and a leg. And basically this means that something costs a lot. It's so expensive that you might as well have had to pay with your arm and your leg. So often we say this when we think something is very expensive. We say, oh my goodness, that glass of wine cost me an arm and a leg. Number 5, to give someone the cold shoulder. To give someone the cold shoulder. Oof. So basically what this means is if you give someone the cold shoulder, you ignore them. It's almost like saying you turn your back to them. Your back is cold towards them. So if we say that somebody gave you the cold shoulder, it means they ignored you. I saw my ex-boyfriend at the party, but he wouldn't talk to me. He gave me the cold shoulder. Number 6 is to have cold feet. To have cold feet. And basically this means you are nervous about something or you're having second thoughts about something. So we often use this if somebody is having doubts or second thoughts before their wedding or before making a big life decision, so a big change in their life, like starting a new job, buying a house, getting committed to someone, anything like that. Number 7 is a sight for sore eyes. A sight for sore eyes. And basically this means, boy, am I happy to see you. So if we say, oh, you're a sight for sore eyes, we mean, you're a happy sight for my tired eyes. So if we haven't seen someone for a while, or if we've had a long day at work, and then we come home to see our girlfriend or boyfriend, we might say, oh, you're a sight for sore eyes. Number 8, this is off the top of my head. off the top of my head. And this literally means that you haven't thought much about something, you're just guessing or answering spontaneously. So very common to hear this in conversation. If someone asks you your opinion, but you're not sure about something, but your initial thoughts are this, you can say, well, off the top of my head, and then say it like that. Right, guys, if you're enjoying this lesson, but you're starting to wonder about how you're going to remember all this vocabulary, which is a common question. Vocabulary is, of course, essential for learning a language, but remembering it can be rather tricky. And this is why we wrote a guide to learning and building your vocabulary, which is an ebook course. So it teaches you how to learn more vocabulary by learning word families, how to record it effectively, how to build up synonyms, and there are pages and pages of new vocabulary. We also have 3 exclusive videos that come with the course. Now, if you're not sure yet and you'd like to learn more, then you can get a free sample of the course on our website. Just head to the link here. So then you can try it out and see for yourself what you think. Number 9, to look down your nose at somebody. To look down your nose at somebody. And this means to look down on someone. So to be a little bit snobby, to think you are superior or better than other people. So if you say, our neighbours really look down their nose at us, it must be because they live in such a huge house. So it could be that somebody is cleverer, richer, has higher status, but obviously it is not nice behaviour. So if we say someone looks down their nose, we're saying they're snobby. Number 10 is to play it by ear. Now this phrase is a little bit confusing because, of course, it'd be very difficult to play something with your ear, unless maybe you're playing Chinese whispers. But to play something by ear, in fact, means to play something spontaneously, to not make a fixed plan. Maybe because it's difficult to make a fixed plan. So often we'll say, yeah, maybe we could go out Saturday, although I'm not sure if I'm going to have time. I've got to do all these chores, but let's stay in touch and we'll play it by ear. Number 11, to put your foot in your mouth. To put your foot in your mouth, which is very, very hard to do unless you are very good at yoga. Now, to put your foot in your mouth means to say something which is inappropriate, to say the wrong thing, basically. We often will shorten this to saying, I put my foot in it. So basically it means we accidentally offend a person by saying the wrong thing or by saying something inappropriate. So I've done this before when I asked a friend how his girlfriend was, and I said, oh, how's your lovely girlfriend? But I hadn't seen on social media that they had broken up. And he was a little bit like, he did not want to answer me. So I felt quite embarrassed and I definitely put my foot in it. Number 12 is get off my back. Get off my back. We use this expression when somebody is bothering us a lot, criticizing us or telling us what to do. So we might say, oh, my boss really won't get off my back at the moment. He's all the time giving me new tasks to do or telling me I've done something wrong. I just can't get him off my back. Or sometimes we might talk about our parents this way. We might say, oh, my mum's really on my back at the moment about things. Number 13 is to get something off your chest. To get something off your chest. And this is when we need to talk to somebody and we want to tell them about how we're feeling or about a problem we have or confess something to them. So we feel like it's almost here and we want to get it off our chest. We want to not be having it inside anymore. We want to share it with someone. So after we've perhaps shared our issues with someone, we might say, oh, I feel so much better now. I really needed to get that off my chest. Number 14 is keep your chin up. Keep your chin up. And basically this means, come on, cheer up. It's like saying cheer up. So if a person is feeling down, a bit blue, and you want to encourage them to feel better or to be more cheerful, you could say, oh, come on, keep your chin up. It's going to be okay. Number 15, my lips are sealed. My lips are sealed. Now, if somebody says this, this means my lips are closed. If something is sealed, it is completely closed over. We cannot get in there. So, for example, a safe is sealed or something like this. So, if we tell someone a secret, it is quite appropriate for them to reply by saying, I won't tell anyone, my lips are sealed. Number 16, to be punching above your weight. To be punching above your weight. And basically, this means that you are going above the level which normally you should be at, or normally you are at. So if we say, oh, she's punching above her weight with that new job, we mean that we think she's not quite appropriate for that level of job. She's gone to a level which is too high for her, not appropriate for her. We often also use this about couples if we think that one is not actually good enough for the other. We can say, how did he get her? He's really punching above his weight. Or we might often shorten this to, gosh, he's punching or she's punching, meaning that guy or girl is just too perfect for them, too good for them. Number 17, to twist someone's arm. To twist someone's arm, which would be quite painful. However, what it actually means is to persuade somebody. So if you twist someone's arm, you're persuading them, you're coaxing them to do something. So if someone isn't quite sure that they want to do something, they need some persuading, then we would say we twist their arm, we persuade them. And it doesn't mean that we are very forceful about this, even though the phrase sounds like that. It just means that we find a way to make them think that it is a good idea or it's good for them. Now, Leila, I know you've been eating a bit of chocolate, and I think it would be good for you to go out for a good healthy walk. Now, it's a beautiful day, the sun is shining, it may be cold, but once you get going, you'll be fine. Come on, what do you say?
Oh, all right then. Just a short walk.
Number 18 is to stab someone in the back. To stab someone in the back. And basically, this means that you betray someone or someone has betrayed you. So if we say, oh, she stabbed me in the back, it means she betrayed my trust, or she told my secret, or she became friends with the enemy, anything like this. Right, guys, now we're moving on to idioms related to food, because there are a lot of these. So number 19 is food for thought. Food for thought. And this basically means, this is worth considering. So if we say, okay, that new offer, it's food for thought, meaning I'm going to think about it, I'm going to consider it. Number 20 is gone pear-shaped, which basically means something has gone wrong, gone very wrong, in fact. If we say, it's all gone pear-shaped. I don't know why a pear inspired this idiom. Obviously, a pear doesn't seem to look quite right. Maybe because it's not round. But basically, if we say it's gone pear-shaped, it's all gone horribly wrong. Number 21 is in a nutshell. In a nutshell. And this basically means to summarize something. So if we say, okay, in a nutshell, the present perfect tense is the connecting tense between the past and the present. So this would mean, this is it in summary, in a nutshell, in a very small space. Number 22, like chalk and cheese. If we say that two people are like chalk and cheese, it means they're complete opposites. Chalk and cheese are pretty not similar. So chalk, you can't eat it, cheese you can. So we could say, that couple, it's amazing they get on so well because they're like chalk and cheese. Number 23, this is the opposite of the phrase. This is like two peas in a pod. It's a very cute phrase, like two peas in a pod. And it means very, very similar, very good friends often, or very compatible. So if we say, my daughters get on so well, they're so similar, they're two peas in a pod. I have a question for you guys. Do you think Leila and I are two peas in a pod? Or do you think we're like chalk and cheese? What's your opinion? Tell us about that in the comments below. Number 24 is selling like hotcakes. Selling like hotcakes. Basically, this means something is selling very fast. It's really, really popular. So if we say the new Harry Potter, wow, it's selling like hotcakes, it means it's flying off the shelves. Yeah, many people are buying it. Number 25 is the cream of the crop. The cream of the crop. And if you think about the fact that cream is the richest, the most delicious part of milk, This is basically what it means. It means the best of a group. So crops, of course, are fruit and vegetables, which we grow and then harvest. So if we say the cream of that, we mean the best of that. So the best of a group. Number 26 is the icing on the cake. The icing on the cake. Basically, this means in a very good situation already, something extra happens that's good. It's almost like the cherry on the top, which is another idiom. So the icing on the cake, the extra thing that made it special with something that's already good. However, we can also use this in the negative. We can say, oh, that was the icing on the cake, as in an already negative situation, the extra thing that made it even worse. Number 27, this is a nice easy one. It is to be the breadwinner, to be the breadwinner. And this is basically the person who earns the most in the family, the person who's bringing home the bread. So bringing home the money, the food, everything like that. Of course, in many countries today, you often will have both parents as the breadwinner. So this is a little bit old-fashioned now. However, we do still use it sometimes. Number 28 is to butter someone up. To butter someone up. And basically this means to be extra nice to somebody, to give them compliments, to flatter them because you want something, because you would like them to do you a favour or you want special treatment, something like this. So you might say, I'm really buttering my boss up at the moment. I'm taking her a coffee every day because I really need some extra holiday. Number 29 is to egg someone on. To egg someone on. And this means to encourage a person to do a bad thing, to encourage them to do something which is a bit naughty, for example. So an example sentence could be, she wasn't sure about playing the practical joke on the teacher, but her classmates egged her on. So they encouraged her, said, go on, do it. So this is to egg someone on. Number 30 is a nice simple one. It is to have a bun in the oven. And this means to be pregnant, to be expecting a baby. So you have to be a little bit careful with this phrase though, because you can't say to somebody you don't know very well, oh, congratulations on your bun in the oven. It's informal. Number 31 is to spill the beans. To spill the beans. And this means to tell a secret or to tell information that was supposed to be private for now. Usually this is by accident. If we spill the beans, we didn't know that we were supposed to keep it secret, or we didn't know that other people didn't know, something like this. So to spill the beans.
That's right, guys. 12 amazing lessons for you this Christmas.
Leila, shh! Don't spill the beans. It's supposed to be a secret.
Oh, sorry.
Number 32 is to take something with a pinch of salt. To take something with a pinch of salt. This means that you don't necessarily believe it's the whole truth. So if you say, I'm going to take that with a pinch of salt, it means I'm not going to completely believe that. I'm not sure that it's the complete truth. Okay guys, these next two, they're not in a particular category. They are miscellaneous, but they're good ones for you to know. So number 33 is to be barking up the wrong tree. To be barking up the wrong tree. So barking is of course what a dog does. So imagine a dog barking at a tree. And basically it means that if you're barking up the wrong tree, you have been looking in the wrong place or you're misguided in your judgment about something. So for example, you could be accusing the wrong person of something or thinking that somebody is suitable for something when they are not. So an example sentence would be, he's really barking up the wrong tree if he thinks I fancy him. Number 34 is a taste of your own medicine. A taste of your own medicine. And basically this is that you treat someone else the way they have been treating you. And normally this is negative. So if you say, right, I'm going to give him a taste of his own medicine. Basically it means that you're going to show her how she's been treating you. You're going to behave in the same way. Right guys, now we are moving on to animals. Idioms with animals. Number 35 is to make a mountain out of a molehill. Now a mole is a little animal which digs underground and when it comes up, it makes a little hill. People usually don't like them in their gardens because they ruin their lovely gardens. But if we make a mountain out of a molehill, this means we make something or a big thing out of nothing. So we can say, oh, why did she make such a big deal about the date of the party changing? She really made a mountain out of a molehill. So to make a big thing about something which is actually very small and unimportant. Number 36 is to put the cat amongst the pigeons. So imagine if you threw a cat, or put a cat, probably better, amongst a group of pigeons. The pigeons would probably be quite worried, frightened, shocked. So if we say that something puts the cat amongst the pigeons, it means that the reaction that is created by that thing is shock, worry, confusion, this kind of thing. So it's usually something unexpected that happens which causes people to feel those emotions. Number 37 is the lion's share. The lion's share. And basically this means the bigger portion of something. So this could be money or food. Very often it's actually food. So basically it means the bigger amount which we give to someone. Number 38 is hold your horses. Hold your horses. This of course comes from the time when we used to get around by using a horse and cart. And if we held our horses, this means we would slow them down or make them stop. So basically the idiom is very logical. It means slow down, hang on. So if somebody is making a lot of plans without our agreement or talking a lot and we can't keep up, you can say, whoa, hold your horses. Number 39, to let the cat out of the bag. To let the cat out of the bag. And this just means to reveal a secret, the same as to spill the beans. So when you accidentally, or perhaps sometimes on purpose, say something which is supposed to be a secret. Number 40 is a wild goose chase. A wild goose chase. And basically this means a chase or a search for something which is probably quite difficult to find. So if we say, oh, it was a wild goose chase trying to find that secret party that everybody was talking about, this means it was very difficult to find the party. You felt like you were driving all over the place and you couldn't find it. So you felt like you were chasing a wild goose. Number 41 is to be in the doghouse. To be in the doghouse. And basically this means you are in trouble or you have upset another person and they are not speaking to you because they're upset with you because you did something wrong. So often we use this about our partners. For example, if they forget something which they were supposed to remember, like a birthday, we definitely put them in the doghouse. So we are upset with them, we make them know that we're not happy with them. So an example sentence would be, Leila is still in the doghouse after making her husband miss his basketball game. Number 42 is to kill two birds with one stone. To kill two birds with one stone. And basically this means to get two actions done with one thing. So for example, if you say, okay, I'm going to pick the children up and do the shopping at the same time as the school is near, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. Number 43 is to make a beeline, to make a beeline. And this means to go straight for, to head directly for something. So for example, when I go to airports, I always make a beeline for the duty-free perfumes and chocolates. I love going to try on the perfumes, looking at the discounts. So I don't go anywhere else, I head straight there. So to make a beeline. Number 44, to smell a rat. Ooh. This is when you begin to get suspicious about something. Something doesn't feel quite right and you begin to suspect that there is trickery or betrayal involved. So an example sentence would be, when the politicians started to delay implementing their promises, the public smelt a rat. Number 45 is straight from the horse's mouth. Straight from the horse's mouth. And this just means directly from the original source. You heard it or you were told it from the original source. You didn't hear it from someone else, you heard it from that person. So if you say, well, I know that Jenny's going to leave the job because I heard it from the horse's mouth. This means Jenny told me herself. Number 46 is to take the bull by the horns, which would be very, very dangerous. Basically, this means to face boldly a difficult situation or challenge. So not to avoid it, to directly confront it. So for example, we could say, if you really want a promotion at work, you should take the bull by the horns. Go and speak to the boss directly about it. Number 47 is until the cows come home. And this means a very long time. So if we say, oh, you'll wait until the cows come home. This means you'll wait for a very long time. Number 48 is to pig out. To pig out. This means to eat a lot. Pigs famously have a big appetite. They usually enjoy their food and like to eat a lot. So if we say we pig out, it means we eat a lot. We enjoy a large quantity of food. Number 49 is pigs might fly. Pigs might fly. And we say this when we think something is very unlikely to happen. So we think it's almost impossible, like winning the lottery. So if Leila said to me, Sabrah, one day you might meet your dream man, you might meet Ryan Gosling, I could say, oh, I'd like to think that, but pigs might fly. Finally, the last one, we made it to the end, is to chicken out. To chicken out. Now, chickens are not known for being particularly brave. So if we chicken out of something, it means we decide not to do something that we are scared of. We chicken out. In fact, if we think somebody is being a coward, not being brave, we can say, oh, you're being such a chicken. So to chicken out, phrasal verb, to not do something that you are afraid of, to decide, I can't do it. Right guys, we've come to the end of our journey through the wonderful world of British idioms. I do hope some of these are a little bit clearer for you now and you feel more confident about using them, and I also hope that they've entertained you. Do try and use any of them in a sentence and I will check that for you. We'll see you soon on Love English. Bye bye.